we never got on. We just couldn't be in the same room. That was the problem. So he chose to leave, so I'm leaving.
He is the man in black, the neoclassical pioneer who shaped the very sound of hard rock with Deep Purple and Rainbow. But behind every iconic riff Ritchie Blackmore unleashed, his fiery temper and razor-sharp opinions sparked some of the most legendary feuds in rock history. For all his brilliance, Blackmore was a storm, difficult to impress, impossible to please, and quick to turn fellow guitar heroes into rivals. Today on StarLoop News, we're diving into the guitar legends who ended up in Ritchie Blackmore's crosshairs, and the surprising reasons why. Ritchie's list begins with Eric Clapton, a man worshipped as a guitar god. But to Blackmore, Clapton was anything but divine. He called his playing boring, accusing him of running up and down pentatonic scales without fire or originality. While Clapton refined blues, Blackmore was fusing classical modes with rock, building a sound he believed was far more daring and far more meaningful. Then came Jeff Beck, a rival Ritchie both respected and criticized. Beck was wild, unpredictable, a master improviser who never played the same way twice. Blackmore admired his genius, but thought he relied too much on experimental noise instead of structured, memorable compositions. It was discipline versus chaos, two empires built on opposite philosophies. When it came to Jimmy Page, the feud went deeper. Blackmore saw Page as a showman, more producer than true guitar visionary. He criticized his sloppy live playing and the mystical persona surrounding Led Zeppelin. To Ritchie, Page's atmospheric style lacked the technical purity and classical backbone he held sacred. But the clash that shook the guitar world came with Eddie Van Halen. While the world was blown away by Eddie's revolutionary tapping, Blackmore dismissed it as a gimmick, a flashy trick with no emotional core. To him, the 80s shred era was filled with athletes, not artists, players who copied notes but ignored soul. Even Yngwie Malmsteen, hailed by many as Blackmore's spiritual successor, couldn't escape his criticism. Blackmore called him a copycat, incredibly fast, technically brilliant, but missing true melody and emotional depth. Yngwie played fast to be impressive. Blackmore played with precision to serve the song. The tension grew personal when Deep Purple hired Joe Satriani to replace Blackmore in 1993. To Ritchie, Satriani represented everything wrong with shred culture. Even worse, hiring him felt like a betrayal, proof in Blackmore's eyes that his own band didn't understand the classical, ancient feel that defined his music. Blackmore's disdain even extended to players like Mick Ronson, David Bowie's guitarist. While Ronson was a brilliant arranger and songwriter, Blackmore saw him as simple, a glam rock sideman lacking the classical fury and technical muscle he demanded from great guitarists. But the most explosive feud of all? Ian Gillan, Deep Purple's own frontman. Their battles were legendary. Ego versus ego. Blues showman versus medieval-minded perfectionist. Blackmore hated Gillan's lyrics, his banter, and eventually, his entire presence. Twice, he pushed Gillan out of the band, and eventually left Purple entirely to form Rainbow, where he found harmony at last with Ronnie James Dio. In the end, Ritchie Blackmore's feuds weren't just about ego. They were about protection, defending his strict, uncompromising view of what real music should be. He wasn't a showman, or a bluesman, or a shredder. He was a singular artist chasing medieval drama and classical precision in a world he believed was losing its soul. And that's exactly why his legacy still stands. Brilliant, difficult, and completely unforgettable. This is StarLoop News, where the stories behind the legends come alive. If you love deep dives like this, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss the next explosive rock revelation.